So I'm just going to take you through upper body workout today, working around an injury. Everybody's going to have them. So just kind of figuring out the exercises you can do to still get a good workout in, programming it week to week, making sure that you're still progressing and doing the best you can to alleviate the shoulder and not create more damage. If you're working hard and you're pushing and you're trying to get better, your shoulder may not get better, or the injured area may not get better, but as long as you're not creating more damage and you're able to push through it, then that's just as effective. And then after a meet or after the phase is over, then you can go to more of a rehabilitative state and work that for 4 to 6 weeks to make sure that it's fully healthy before you start your next prep.
So typically you're going to have shoulder injuries throughout the bench press, throughout your lifting career. Shoulder injuries are probably one of the more common ones, especially when it comes to the bench press. For me, my injury is more of an impingement through the rotator cuff. That's just happened over time through lack of flexibility through the pec, lat, and tricep area. So I'm just doing a lot of stretching to kind of alleviate that, but in the meantime I still have to get ready for these meets coming up. So what I'm doing as far as programming goes is I pick my main movement is going to be either touch and go competition style or pause. And if my shoulder injury prevented me from doing my normal grip, then I would have to switch grips and just work on that. But for some reason the wider grip seems to be working really well with the shoulder. The close grip is what really bothers it, so I'm staying away from close grip stuff, and that's my main movement. It's going to be more competition style, either touch and go or pauses. I just started adding in pauses because I have a meet coming up, and then I'll probably stick with pauses and touch and goes throughout the rest of the prep. And it's just kind of finding that main movement that carries over to the actual competition movement, or if you can do the competition movement the best of its ability, then just stick with that. But you want something that has a good carryover so that when you get to the meet, it's not too much of a transition. You can just kind of grind it out. And then what I've also found is getting blood flow, getting volume to the area without creating a lot of unnecessary pain is another great way to force the recovery process to move a little bit faster. So I did a couple drop down sets, 315, 5x5 pauses, and I figured, you know what, floor presses, a little less range of motion, probably be a little bit easier on the shoulder. Well, I was definitely wrong. So for me, being able to retract my shoulder blades and pin them down is what helps alleviate the pain, which is why I'm able to stay with my competition grip. So what I had to do here was, figure out like, okay, well this set right here was the last one. I was like, this is not working, too much pain, causing too many issues. It's not worth it. Risk versus reward always when trying to program around an injury. So I went around to some different bars, different movements, and I was like, you know what, incline feels pretty good, which is weird. I figured it would be a little bit more painful, but the fact that I can arch and get my shoulder blades retracted and down created a lot less pain. So I was able to push through that and get some good work in on that. And then also trying to get some shoulder work and triceps in, I threw in some neutral grip overhead presses, and there's no pain in that at all. So I try to, the main movement, you kind of grunt through it. If there's pain, minimize it as much as possible, but you have to get the work in. And then for your secondary and assistance movements, try to go with as minimal pain as possible to none, so that you can kind of expedite that recovery process. So here I am doing some machine neutral grip presses, no pain in the shoulder, everything's feeling good, still getting some work in. And then I always end my upper body days with some type of burnout, blood flow, get it going in there, either blood flow restriction or just high rep stuff. Here I'm doing 50 reps of push downs, and this is just kind of getting some blood in there, helping with the recovery process. So when the injury happens, you want to find a main movement that you can get a lot of benefit from that causes little irritation. Secondary movements, still heavy compound, but find ones that cause no pain at all. And then your assistance work, zero pain, getting blood flow, higher reps, and that should help with the programming around injury.
So that's a wrap for the upper body session. As you can see, I made some adjustments along the way. Biggest thing I can take away from this is, you don't want to be a slave to your program. You want to be able to adjust if things are bothering you, and you want to be able to make sure that you're making the right adjustments to hit the same muscle groups but in a safer manner. And that's what I did today. Some things I thought would hurt it didn't, and some things that I thought would make it feel better made it worse. So being able to adjust on the fly, still get a good workout in, still progress is the end game here. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, guys, take care.